even though there is some routine involved in practicing, maybe it's better not to think of it as a routine. It might be more palatable. Or of course, as Pat was telling me before, we could all each hire somebody to practice for us.
Sending you my arm.
Thank you. But obviously it goes without saying that practice is very, very important part, if not the most important part, or one of the most important parts involving becoming a musician. You know, sometimes hours and hours of practice go a long way. And when I was younger, I certainly spent a lot of time in the practice room. I had very good private teachers who expected a lot, and also I was obsessed with the music and driven. So, you know, I had many days of, you know, many hours of practicing in the shed. And if I would be honest, I would say I practice much less now. For a few reasons. Part of it is just a time constraint. There's never enough time in the day anymore now. I wish each day was twice as long. So practicing, the art and technique of practicing has taken up a different space in my mind. And I do get next to the instrument every day when I'm home. And also traveling on the road, as I mentioned, I go to sound checks early and warm up. When I'm home, the hours spent practicing are much less. Sometimes it's purely maintenance practicing, just to make sure the reeds are happening, to at least play the horn for a period of time during the day, just so that I don't lose whatever chops I have when I'm not playing on the road or playing in New York City. And then there are other times when I'm actively pursuing something and trying to make it part of my vocabulary. But I have no routine anymore. And I don't know if I ever really had a routine, but I certainly have done things in the past that have been very, very helpful. I began listening to records at a very early age. I used to steal records from my father's collection. And I think one of the first records I fell in love with, I must have been 7 or 8 years old, was a Dave Brubeck record called the tune was Look for the Silver Lining with Paul Desmond. And I loved Paul Desmond's sound on alto. And I remember having a record. I was playing clarinet at this point and feeling frustrated with the instrument because I liked saxophone and trumpet, and I couldn't quite get the freedom on the clarinet. Of course, I was only 8 or 9 years old at this point. But I was practicing in my trash can, by the way. I had a brass trash basket that I discovered if I played the clarinet in the wastebasket, it gave me a good reverb. And I've been in love with reverb ever since.